Dog sleeping. How you guys doing? It is a Sunday. It's 7:34 a.m. Sunday. This is our 554th episode of the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way, bringing value to the customer without spending money endlessly in the wrong area and getting you home, right? Because we're not spending all these crazy hours bringing the value because we know what value we want to bring. And we want to have fun, right? So, happy Sunday. What do I want to talk about today? A couple things. Yesterday, I found one of my connections that he created a wiki page for the term agilist and put me in it. So it was pretty cool. I was like, wow, you never know when you're going to show up in the wiki page. And so that was pretty fun last night. So I posted about that. So if you go on LinkedIn and you go on Wikipedia and type in the word agilist, I guess you'll find me in 2016. However, I gave him a little heads up. I think because I had my Safe Agilist certification in 2015, and Safe started around 2012. So I don't know when they created that certification. So it might be a little bit earlier than me. And some people mentioned it before that, but that might be somewhere too. But anyway, that reminded me. The other day we talked about context switching, common practices, the evil common practice, how people use that. And today I wanted to throw in a note about common versus best practice. And doing it in an agile way versus a waterfall way. And more like a Wikipedia way, right? The good Wikipedia, the one that actually lets people help build a product versus do it for their advantage, let's just say, which is what's killing Wikipedia right now. Anyway, so the idea of the common practice versus best practice. A lot of organizations, they go, we need to come up with best practices and we need to review it and go through layers and layers. What's the best practice? Which way to go? And they're so stuck on a waterfall idea of coming up with best practice. They use waterfall methodology for it to review, go through a lot of chop changes. We got to make sure it's good, and it's got to be absolutely perfect before we use it. And that's the waterfall mentality. Where my mentality is more of a wiki-like type mentality for common practices. And I'm talking about how do you do the mechanics? How do you do this? Mechanical stuff, right? Not building common practices so we can drop a person from one organization to another or have them work in 5 teams so they can work in all 5 teams without having to figure out what the practice is and how the person groups go to coding. Because if you do that, you suck. Okay? If you take a person who's an agilist, right, and you make them work on 5 teams, then you suck. Just saying. And it's total anti-pattern, anti-agile. It's terrible. Hopefully we'll fix it, out there in the world. There's still organizations think that way in a very project management way. So they can get full utilization of the person's skills, though you waste probably about 40 to 50% of their skill set doing context switching. But that's not what we're going to talk about. But in common practice should be like a wiki. You build a wiki page. Everybody's got wiki pages. Teams has got wiki pages. You can do Slack. You can do Confluence. You can do a web page, basic HTML. And you just post up like, how do you do daily Scrum? Here's some ideas. Variations of questions of daily Scrum. So you can have a wiki page with not just the traditional 3 ways of asking the questions, but we dropped out of the Scrum Guide, but different ways to ask those questions, different techniques and things like that, and building a wiki page of common practices versus the best practice. Because to be honest, there is no such thing as a best practice. There's only practices that work and practices that don't work. And sometimes the ones that work in one place don't work in another place. So to say one thing's a best practice versus another one is not the real agile way of thinking. But I just want to mention that because I see consultants out there, the big houses of consultation, the Death Stars, like the empires will come in and say, well, we did this at such and such company, so we're going to just apply it to your company straight up, and we're going to apply it the way it is. Well, that's not necessarily going to work until they sell it to you that way, right? So you have to be careful of that. But I just want to share from a common practice. There is ways of doing it, and hopefully your common practice lists do not become a best practice list where you have to treat it like Waterfall, where it has to get 10 people to concur on the changes and post it up, because that slows you down. It's just really should be a place to share ideas and ways of doing business. But some people are like, oh, we need to have reviews and authority and like 6 months to change the definition of one word. Yeah, don't do that. So just be careful that your common practice lists do not become best practice lists that take on waterfall mentality, to take 6 months to make a change and update and add new good content for your teams. So that's all I have for today. It's Sunday, but just remember, best practice doesn't mean best for everyone. It just means at the time, at the moment, in the team, in the group, in the organization, that practice worked. Doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it worked. From an agile mentality, when you make a list of common practices, make it so everybody can update them. Anybody can update them, right? Some people want to control the world, and there you go. See, listen to the sound of the phone. Anyway, you all take care. You have a good day. Happy Scrumming. See you on Monday. And it's pretty cool to be in a Wikipedia. Yep. As long as it's a good thing. Anyway, have a great day. Ring the bell. Don't forget the little bell. Ring the little bell. And see you tomorrow Monday. I got a couple things I want to talk about Monday. And I think, yeah, do that Monday. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye. See ya.